You are listening to the FeedBak
Podcast with my homie Back.
Welcome to the FeedBak Podcast, everybody. My name is Back. I got Byron in the house.
What up, what up?
And, of course, this episode is brought to you by our good friends at Herd Presents. Located in the iconic Red River District, Empire Control Room has 3 stages, and including a patio. And go to EmpireATX.com. Check out their calendar. There's always some good stuff going on. Yellow Wolf is coming. The Ohio players already go? No, do you know?
I don't think so.
No? I mean, they always got good stuff. Go to Empire ATX, get your tickets, and use promo code FDBK for 10% off. All right? Now, thank you for tuning in, of course. This is a special show, and here's why. Because we're going to talk about something that I don't know shit about, so this is going to be a great learning opportunity. We got Kash in the house. How you doing, man?
What's up? Doing good.
Thank you for coming, and we got Tyler in the house.
Hello.
Thank you for coming, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm really excited because it's seriously, like, we're going to talk about metal music.
Yeah.
And if you know me, you met me, or if you listened to the show before, I'm a big hip-hop fan. I love also reggae and funk, but when it comes to rock and metal, I can't say I'm clueless, but I'm always want to learn. It's different.
It's different, especially from what you usually do on here.
Right.
For sure.
So I want to ask first, what was your introduction to metal, Tyler?
Introduction to metal?
Yeah, like when you're 5 years old and you heard something and you went,
Well, that's funny. I didn't even prepare the story, but I love that you asked that because
there's always a good story,
yeah,
right?
There is.
It's
It's got to be. I mean,
unless
you came out and you're already rocking and head banging.
So my super best friend up until when I was a young lad, when I was a little kid, we grew up in Dallas together, and around the same exact time, my dad got a job here in Austin. His dad got a job out in California, and I flew out. Yeah, I flew out to go see him a few weeks later, just kind of sort of revisit kind of thing. I was newly 13 years old, and I went to a Killswitch Engage show with him in California.
So he was a metalhead already?
Yes. Yeah, he was already a metalhead, and like I had no idea about this stuff, but it was pretty big out in Cali at the time, and so I went to my metal show not knowing anything about metal music. Yeah, 13. I knew nothing about metal music. I had never been to anything like that. I never heard of like Warped Tour. And so I just went there and I like fell in love, the energy, the everything that we'll talk about. It all just kind of got to me.
I mean,
and
were you in the mosh pit?
Oh yeah. I went
at
in
13.
Yes, I was in the mosh pit at 13. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that was awesome. And back then you're like resilient. If I get in the mosh pit now, it's like the next day it's like, oh god, like what the fuck happened?
You know what?
It's a workout.
For some reason, I think Kash can up you on the story there.
Story? No, that was pretty good. No, that's good. Mine's it's you can just judge if it's better or not.
We will.
We'll keep a score.
Go ahead.
It's basically plain and simple. I remember the moment. It was I believe it was 6th or 7th grade, and I was sick, homesick from school, and because I actually grew up on country. That's what I grew up on. That's what.
Well, were you in Texas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You too, Tyler, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's I mean, my mom's from Canada, my dad's from India, so it wasn't like a Texan bumpkin thing. It was just my mom's a farm girl up there. That she was nice and wholesome music. She liked it. It was catchy, so that's what I grew up on. And then I was homesick, and I was just sitting there watching MTV back when they actually played music videos. And the Memory Remains from Metallica music video came on, and the Marianne Faithfull does this singing part. And my mom goes, "Ooh, what is that? That's annoying. I don't like that." And I go, "All right."
I'm going to piss you off for the next...
Here it comes.
That's
just the beginning.
You're going to be banging on my door going, "Keep it quiet!"
Yep.
Wow. See, my thing was that I had a neighbor who was into... he was into rock music, and one of my best friends was into Metallica. Mm-hmm. So we traded, because I was into hip-hop. And he said, "Dude, you have to listen to Metallica." And at the time, I think the Black Album came out or something like that. Yeah. And I said, "All right, I'll trade you a Snoop for Metallica." So he got into Snoop with Doggy Style. Yeah. And I got into Metallica. And at the time, I was one of those kids that was like, I want to learn how to play guitar just for the fun of it. There wasn't this. I grew up in France. We didn't have the whole, "Hey, I'm a cool kid with the guitar at the party and girls want to bang me" kind of thing. We didn't have that. But it was just, it'd be cool to pick up an instrument. And my friend was like, put your finger here, and you're playing to Sandman.
Yeah.
And funny enough, we actually had to learn Enter Sandman in music class.
No shit.
It's cool, yeah. But I was like, I kind of like the melodies.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what drew me into Metallica. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty. I don't know what the fuck they're saying. I have no idea because it's in English.
Heard that.
Yeah. There we go. We're gonna get
That's what
back to
they're
that
saying.
voice. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, this is kind of cool. Like Unforgiven to me was beautiful.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters
Yep.
to me was like, holy shit. If I can play that, I'm like, oh, it's easy.
That's
It's
really
it's
easy.
really
Yeah.
easy. I'm like,
Easy
yeah,
as
play
fuck.
that.
Yeah.
I was so excited, but that's about as far as I went. I mean, it was AC/DC. I don't know if AC/DC is considered metal, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It
they're one
is.
of the originators, I guess. Not, I wouldn't call it metal anymore per se,
Yeah.
but like hard rock.
In the spectrum too, you know, metal's
Yeah.
a pretty huge spectrum,
Yeah.
generally speaking.
Yeah, actually, I went to Wikipedia and I see all the different denominations.
Oh boy!
And oh my God!
man.
And you know what?
You
There's a lot.
Wikipedia metal.
Yes, I did. I got to research for my own damn show. You know.
Well, you know how you said you needed a chart for Game of Thrones? You needed a chart.
Yeah,
for
you
metal.
do.
I mean, that's
And-
even more
An
expansive.
equally crazy chart for metal for
Yep.
sure.
No, but I mean, it was the same thing when I got into house music. People, oh, there's different houses. I'm like, what do you mean there's different houses? It's a whole neighborhood of this shit. But I mean, the list goes on from doom to death to gothic to what was another one that I saw that was
thrash metal.
thrash.
core.
I'm like, how dark can you get? In every paragraph, as you go down, it gets just darker and darker. This is the extreme. You know,
Okay.
like you can't even understand what the guy's saying.
When you can't read the logo because it all looks
Yes,
like tree
well,
branches.
like a spider web. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
Yes.
See,
Yeah.
Metallica, simple.
perfect.
Yeah.
I can see the M. I can see the A.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Slayer, easy.
Yeah.
I can read that, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you got all kinds of. Those fonts are not online. I don't know what,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say. I can't get them. So, Cash, you're in a band.
Yep.
So, from listening to watching MTV, like how did it like picking up the guitar and being like, all right, now this is what I want to do.
Sure.
I'm gonna be part of this community. First of all, which denomination of metal was your introduction?
I mean, after there was right before Metallica, there was the growing up with alternative radio, and there was Blink-182 and
Oh, you're dating yourself now. I thought you were about to go
Everclear
80s and
and-
stuff.
No.
I thought you were about to say, yeah, Poison and
shit.
Bon Jovi. And, all right, never mind.
No.
Blink 182 it is.
Yeah, those old classics of Blink-182.
Limp Bizkit and-
Limp Bizkit.
Oh God.
Limp Bizkit was huge back in the day, man.
Hold on. I mean, he said it.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. Done that.
We'll get back to it. But
Yeah. When Nookie dropped, man, I'm telling you. Anyway, okay, there you go.
No, that's all you got to say. I
so-
did it all for the nookie.
So I did. I had a friend who could play guitar and drums, and so I was getting more and more into music and kind of listened to it. And then he kind of showed me the basic 2/4 pattern of drums, and he had a guitar, and he showed me. I think it was Nothing Else Matters. I mean, Enter Sandman or Nothing Else Matters. One of those, as well as Green Day, Brain Stew. Just easy songs you can get into, and he was showing me how to read tabs. And then I took guitar lessons from maybe like 3 months when I was like 8, just because I had my parents got us acoustic guitars, and I tried it, and I just got frustrated with it. And
Why it wasn't hardcore enough?
No, I was big in the country.
Oh,
Back
that's
then,
right, you were in
remember?
country.
Oh, there's a video out there that's somewhere. I don't know where it went, but it's. I mean, me and my brother
Byron,
playing
go look
Alan
for it.
Jackson. We're singing Mercury Blues, just sitting, and we're not hitting a single note. We're just strumming the guitar, thinking we're badasses. At like 8
the whole
years
time.
old.
Nailed it.
It's terrible. But again, it just Metallica's the band that got me into it. I remember watching a live DVD and just saying they're playing Master of Puppets, and I was just like, dude, I want to do that. So I went and grabbed the guitar from the attic that was in there for years, grabbed it and pulled up tabs and learned Fade to Black. And when I finally got it, I was like, okay, this is cool, because I was just like, that's what I want to do. And then I just learned more and more songs after that, and so that's kind of how it started.
And then the band, you formed your own band right away? Or did that take...
We had a band in high school. It was called Intervision. It was kind of like the precursor to this band, and I couldn't sing worth a shit. I had no singing lessons, abilities, and so we found a singer, and he came in and we we had some riffs, and we wrote a few songs, played live out in the Houston area, Sugarland area, and then we all kind of went to college and went different places, and it kind of went from there. But me and my brother, he plays drums, so we kind of every time I come back, we just sit there and jam.
So your brother's also into metal.
I got him into metal. Yeah. You know,
It's younger or older?
younger.
Of
He's-
course,
yeah,
younger.
yeah.
Of course.
He listened to whatever I gave him, basically.
Yes.
So
Look, this is Metallica. Shut the fuck up.
pretty much. I was like, learn this. He goes, okay.
Yeah,
So-
whatever you say, Cash, I'll do it. I'll
Oh
do
yeah.
it.
Funny how it's changed now. Now I tell him. Now he's like, no, fuck off. I don't care.
But he still plays?
Not really.
Not really?
He still got his sweet Tom a Rockstar kit sitting in there collecting dust. So.
Mm-hmm.
So is mine.
So there you go.
Wait, so hold on. You went, Tyler, you went from 13 going to a show and getting the full experience.
Mm-hmm.
You go into the crowd. You pogoing or slamming, first of all?
Pogoing?
Yeah, that's how we call it in France. Isn't pogo just going
Yeah,
up and down?
no,
and
yeah,
slamming
and
is bumping to people?
And the only reason I
Okay.
know that is because my mom traveled extensively in Europe, and she told me that that's what it's called there.
In France, we call it pogo.
I've
Yeah.
never heard that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that
pogo sticks
I
going
think,
up and down.
I
That's all you're
think,
doing.
Okay.
I think actual pogoing was more of like a precursor to moshing, because now it's, it can range, but it's a little more violent
Yes.
inherently than pogoing is.
Like
Uh,
my friends, when I would go to their parties and they say, "Oh, let's start a pogo," I'm like, first of all, you don't announce it. You just start shoving somebody and see what happens.
I would now like to request to start a mosh pit.
Everybody,
please.
pep, everybody line up in a
Oh, the
circle.
sign up sheet over here.
We're all gonna run towards the center all at once. Whoever
Yeah,
bounces off stays in.
Hey, that's the wall of death right there.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
So you get into that and you're like, okay, this is what I want to do. Were you capturing it at the time already?
No, I mean this. Texas Loves Metal is only not even 3 years old right now.
Oh,
So
wow.
this was like an idea that came to me much, much later, and I was living in Dallas at the time whenever I saw my first show for Killswitch. But I was always just absolutely obsessed with live shows. Just as much as every metalhead just loves listening to metal every day, I loved going to see shows all the time. I went to every single one I could get my paws on. And
But you never wanted to play?
huh? No, I did play.
Oh, okay.
for-
I was about
yeah,
to
yeah.
say, you got the look and everything.
Yeah, no, yeah, I did play for a little crappy band in when I was in college. They were called Coven, and we played Red Eyed Fly and Red 7 back.
I
when
remember
those-
that name.
Oh, you do?
Mhm.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, we.
When did you play Red Eye Fly?
Let's see. That would have
06,
been
07?
yeah,
Oh, wait.
0607
Yeah.
all the way till I was yeah.
So did we.
Yeah, we might have been in like one of those Battle of the Bands or
I
something
think
like
probably.
that at the,
Probably.
Pretty sure.
yeah, because we did tons of those. But yeah, after that, I actually had to quit the band halfway through college. I made the mistake of taking a lot of crazy courses all in one semester and just sort of overtook my life. So, but I continue to go to shows still. I didn't let that hinder me.
You're
I
one of
went
those responsible metal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow.
No drugs, alcohol. I was waiting for that story.
But no, and then I noticed that there was just I will say, Come and Take It Productions, and like you were saying, the podcast guys. There are so many people here in town that just keep the metal community going, and I wanted to be a part of that. I felt like I had something to offer. I go, like you said, I'm a responsible metalhead. I go to all these shows. I have all this video and photo and stuff. So I was just like, fuck it. I created a page literally just for me, just to like post all my photos and videos and stuff and just sort of keep it organized. I thought maybe a few people will follow it, and it took off way beyond what I thought was ever going to happen. And so I've just kind of, been flowing with it ever since, and, figuring out what people want and, what people want to see, what kind of news people want to see,
Right.
supporting local bands, that kind of thing.
So I'll get back to the voice, because I mean, my barrier to entry to metal was always the voice. I get the melody,
The
I can
screaming?
get.
Yeah.
If there's some melody to it, like we said, a lot of Metallica songs, but just the voice was like, because I could get with James Hetfield's voice. I know you do a good impression of him.
Yeah.
And so the voice guy was like, I don't know what the fuck they're saying. It's already hard enough for me because my English sucked at the time.
Sure.
Now it's better, and I'm like, I still don't get it.
Yeah.
I still don't get it. Actually,
Well-
I was watching one of your videos of Fear Control.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they put the lyrics on the video.
A lyric video.
lyric
Yeah.
video with
Yeah.
the words bumping and stuff.
Yeah.
Coming in. I'm like,
Makes more sense then.
yeah,
doesn't
it does.
Yeah.
It does. I'm like, these guys are deep.
Yeah.
Because when you first hear it, you're like, he's just screaming on the mic. I don't,
Sure.
I don't know what
Yeah.
he's saying.
Sure.
So how did you get that voice?
Well, to go on what you're saying, I had the same barrier to a lot of harder metal. the screaming. When I originally got into metal, I loved the riffs, guitar riffs, energy. That's what I was about. The screaming, I was the same way. Like when kids, my friends were like, "Oh, dude, check this band out." I'm like, I can't get past the screaming. I just can't understand it. And then actually, it was Killswitch Engage, the band that really converted me to that because of their dynamics, where they're combining melody and harmony and screaming and aggression, to where it was kind of that gateway band that brought me into the heavier stuff. To where I wanted to know how to do that. Because before then, I couldn't scream worth a shit. And there's probably old recordings somewhere, my parents'
deep
house.
Deep in the YouTube depths.
Deep in the YouTube depths.
Look it up, folks.
No, actually, no. Deep in my hard drive depths, probably.
It's online somewhere, I guarantee.
We'll find your MySpace.
It's probably on MySpace. That's fair. That's a fair story. Of learning how to scream, and it's bad.
There's tutorials online on how to scream?
You betcha.
Oh, that's how I learned. Is I don't know if you heard of Melissa Cross, the Zen of Screaming. That's really she's a vocal coach out in New York. And she's worked with all the big guys. Lamb of God, Killswitch Engage, Trivium,
Devil Wears
Prada.
Yeah.
All the.
And that's
big
the girl
names.
teaching you how to do it.
She's a middle-aged white woman, who's just sitting there and showing you how to scream.
What's her name?
Melissa Cross, and it's called. You can probably find it. Right.
She's insane, man. She's been on TV shows and stuff, and like I know she does like consulting for horror movies and stuff too. Like, just screaming, all encompassing.
Yeah, and properly, because how to use your vocal cords without straining your voice. That's what she teaches, and that was definitely eye opening for me. I was just like, oh wow, okay, there's this little white woman who's like screaming better than I can.
But it is called screaming?
The Zen of Screaming.
No, I mean that voice, that metal voice. It is called screaming. There's not some other terminology for it.
No. You might see like on Wikipedia, you might see him label it like unclean vocals or something like that.
Unclean?
Yeah.
Unclean.
Yeah.
Come on, Wikipedia. Really?
You do better.
Yeah, I can do better. Unclean. Fuck you. There's some people who love this shit. How dare
I shower
you?
every day.
Somebody who wrote that, it was like, I don't like metal. I'm just gonna like list all this death and roll and all. I'm not just giving names. Fuck them. Come up with names out of my ass. Yeah. Wait, did you listen to metal, Byron?
I did not. My exposure to metal is Beavis and Butthead.
That's fair.
So I didn't show you any over at the old job.
No.
Oh,
I was. So, little backstory. Me and Kash used to work together about 10 years ago. So,
yep.
That's how I got to know him. And I found out that you did metal. You're in a metal band. And for me, it was like, cool. Like, I've always had an intrigue with metal. Never knew much about it. The screaming, as Back mentioned earlier, was kind of a barrier to entry for me. But it was one of those things where I can see a lot of similarities with metal and hip-hop. So, even though I knew I didn't understand it and didn't really understand the lyrics, I heard those same types of things regarding hip hop. Like, I don't know what they're saying, So I knew that there was more to it. I always had a respect for it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was knowing that you were in metal. It's like, all right, cool. Like maybe I'll go see a show now, which I still haven't seen you perform. So
we're gonna get y'all.
Sorry
out
about
there.
that. But I have listened to your music.
We'll play some
though.
audio in a minute.
Which actually, to your point, actually, I just heard an Ice-T quote a few days ago, which I thought was really on point. What he was saying, because it kind of encompasses what you're talking about. Is it was on SiriusXM, and he was talking about country and rap and metal, and which is Ice-T talking about country and rap and metal. Just to put your
everybody look up to Ice-T when it comes to talking about this stuff.
Because Ice-T's in a metal band. I don't know if y'all know.
Yeah, Body Count.
Body Count.
Yeah.
And so he was talking about. He was saying, so metal, rap and country. I mean, it's just the same shit. Different hoods. We bitching about our women. We talking about our cars or our trucks.
Right.
We show up to award shows wearing hats and boots.
Yeah.
And it's the same. It's like the same shit, just different hood. And metal is the same exact shit, except you just got to make sure you're honest.
Okay.
I was like, that is on point. That is really on point.
Wait, across the board?
With metal, it's the content that you sing about in metal, because it can, if it's cheesy or fake, it can instantly be thrown at as like kind of like
give me an example of what a
Five Finger Death Punch, maybe a little bit, you know. Five Finger Death Punch. They can, and I'm one who loves his vocals. As a band, they're a little cheesy. It's very over the top, very pop radio.
Okay. So if you had a scale from 1 to 10, the 10 being the cheesiest,
you can answer this one.
and you got what's the name? Fire punch. Wait,
Five
punch.
finger-
Five finger death punch.
Five finger 10 punch. All right. So what did they rate?
Okay, I'll answer with a story.
Okay, sure.
Short story. There's a serial commenter on Texas Loves Metal. Every time I post a story or just like post news or whatever about Five Finger Death Punch, I don't remember his name right now. I'll have to go find it. He comments, Five Finger Death Punch is for people who don't wipe their ass.
All right.
Every single time, just like leaves that comment. And that's a little harsh, but I think that's what you were getting at. Is their music is a little...
It's
you can't describe it.
it's kind of like for show. It's a little bit for show.
But what
Okay,
is
yeah.
it? But
Like live, they do this song is for the troops, and the next song, this song is for the women in the audience. The next song, this song is for the kids in the audience. This song is for. It's just a little for show.
is
It
there a bunch
doesn't.
of disclaimers?
It just
that kind of sucks.
ingenuine.
Ingenuine, yes, that is such a
is
good
how it
word.
comes across.
But
And
in hip hop, you go, this one goes out to the ladies. That's the only one.
That's the only one.
That's the only one. They're not singing to kids. They're not singing to adults. They're not singing to. They're just the ladies in the house. Whoa, this one's for y'all. And then the rest.
that's because they're smarter. They know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of a. I mean, I can't even think about a guy on stage like the whole time going with that screaming voice, and then he just stops and goes, this one is gonna be like his regular voice, like break the whole illusion of it. And going, today we're gonna talk about the troops. 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, I can't take you seriously.
See, but there is an honesty in that. Like Killswitch does that really well. Another band,
they switch back and forth.
Yeah, and it's because they're being real. They're just saying this is metal is expressing yourself in an aggressive way, an angry way, but it's all coming from something honest and deep within.
Right.
And so, to me, I mean, you can answer. Like, let me ask you, like, would it be? Is that more ingenuine than saying? Screaming during all the songs, and then in between each song, saying, "All right, here we go, motherfuckers! Did y'all have a good day today? Look at that sunshine I want." You know,
I want you to do the weather. I want you to do the weather with Cash today. It's gonna be.
it's gonna rain.
Back to you.
Back to you.
Back to you, Jim. That'd be awesome. Seriously, think about it. If you had a show and you had like a metal,
That'd be funny.
hell yeah.
You know?
That's an SNL sketch right there.
Yeah.
No, but in hip hop, the honesty is there, but it can also be totally fake.
Right.
So it can come up because that's the thing. If you look at both of them, they're all rebellious type of genre music. They all emerge from this rebellious feeling, like, hey, fuck the system.
Kind of
Yes.
Subculture.
Yeah,
The
fuck the
weirdos,
system. Very male oriented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very young
mostly.
too. Very like engaged politically
Yeah.
at the beginning. Not anymore. Listen to hip hop now. It's freaking nothing.
Humana.
Yeah, humana hip hop. And I'm gonna read lyrics from a quote unquote freestyle because they don't freestyle anymore. They just rap whatever is in their song from the latest. The XXL, the freshman XXL issue. Like every year they do a freshman issue. Like these are the hip hop artists of the year.
Oh, okay,
Right.
yeah.
So there's this kid in there called XX Extension Cord. So that's what I call him. He's in an XX Extension, and like you read the shit, and he goes, "These fucking entertainers is playing it by the rules, sucking government's dick for safety to stay cool. I'm absolutely disgusted by all you motherfuckers. Tie your throats to a truck bed and pedal the metal quickly." First of all, it doesn't rhyme.
I thought there was another part.
Was
to
that a haiku? Was that the first
and he ended on
stanza?
that. And he ended on that. So I'm like,
Drop the mic.
Bars.
no,
Question
he did the freestyle crouching on the ground and staring at the floor.
Okay.
So I'm like, I get the sentiment, maybe not, but you take that, you add an angry voice to it, you have a metal joint, right? Or is that too big of a jump?
Let's try it. Show me the lyrics.
Here it is.
You want to do it? Want me to do
excited.
it?
Yeah,
It's up to you.
I'm excited about
Yeah,
this.
hold on. I have to turn that thing
Byron
on.
taught me a beat.
Oh shit.
No, but I mean, it's one of those like that's the way hip hop is going now. A lot of like dark, like not politically engaged anymore. Like I'm all for a message when it's in the music. That's just me. And the same way that Metallica had a message, I'm sure.
Well, like
A lot
Rage
of
Against the
songs.
Machine.
Oh, there you go, Rage.
is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good one.
I love
System
I
of
love
a
Rage back in the
Down,
day.
which
Yes.
I've been missing both of them for so long.
But like when you're just talking shit and you're like, you're 16, the fuck do you know about, about any of the government?
That's the older listener now.
Yeah.
Well,
You know.
is that the same thing? In like, there's the new school and the old school of metal. Like
Yeah.
back in my day,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to listen to Poison.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean,
Well, I was gonna. Well, I guess what came to my head was like all the bands that we've been talking about, like Trivium and Killswitch Engage and all those guys. Those are like what we would probably could be considered like the godfathers of metal. Like these are the guys that are super accessible and like every type of metalhead comes out to see these guys, no matter what they're like. But there's not so many bands like that anymore as there used to be.
there's a lot more bands.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
But
doesn't
not
mean
all-
they're good.
Not
Yeah.
quality bands.
Yeah, but
Right.
exactly.
But hip hop is going through the exact same thing.
Okay.
That's the thing. Like
Okay.
your our reference, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, in hip hop, you think about for the Bigs, the Tupacs, and the Wu-Tang Clan and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to metal, you have Metallica. Trying to think of some other ones. The Red Hot, maybe.
Chili Peppers?
In the 90s, Red
Metal.
Hot? Soft metal.
I mean,
Alternative.
90s like Korn.
Okay.
maybe.
Who the guy that just died? Chester.
Linkin
Yeah,
Park.
Linkin
Yeah,
Park.
Linkin Park.
Chester
Yes.
Bennington.
And now, like, if you were to introduce metal to someone who doesn't know shit like me, and you're like, look, these are the names that you need to look up, and they're names that everybody knows today, not back in the day, not in the 80s and 90s, but like today. Like, who would that be? Is there a bunch of them, or is it like two bands that just fighting each other?
I
all
mean,
day?
I think Metallica, Pantera, Slayer is where you start. There's, I mean,
I'm talking about today.
bands today.
Today,
current bands.
Like if you were had a Mount Rushmore of bands, but not just 4, but maybe 10 of them.
I honestly think
Wow.
it's so.
That's hard.
It's so.
It is, right?
If it's like anything like hip hop, where it's kind of so. What's the right word? Shattered, if you will, or subgenre. that-
Yeah, it's so segmented that
Segmented, thank you.
Unless you're like a responsible metalhead or you like tons of different types of metal, there's probably not a lot of different venues you can go down. It's like you like a certain subset of bands, and then like you go see those bands when
Right.
they come to town, and like you probably listen to other bands, but metalheads tend to like segment towards a type that they like,
And
Right.
they don't go outside
And
of that. Does it merge as
I think
much?
I think it's because they want that. That's their band they discovered. That is the epitome of metal. Where it
If I
started.
started
Yeah.
with Death and Roll, then I just stick with Death and Roll.
What's Death and Roll?
Wikipedia. You know what? I love that you said, "What the fuck is that?"
You don't know what you're talking
Shut the
about.
fuck up, back.
Is it a genre or a band? What the hell?
It's a genre.
Apparently, did you know it was a genre?
Somebody
No,
made
I
it.
don't
No.
It's on the
See,
internet.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I probably haven't heard half of them. Like, you know what I mean?
No, you probably believe me
Yeah.
for a second though.
I think-
Somebody had a serious band out there, like was like, you know what? This rock and roll, and this is death and roll. God damn it!
I guess that would be like rock and roll, but with like death metal vocals over it, or the opposite.
Hey,
I don't know.
I'll read you the definition.
Okay.
Death and roll is a subgenre of death metal that incorporates hard rock inspired elements to an overall sound.
Yeah. So
That's anything.
more so rock and roll.
Oh, notable examples include Entombed. Ever heard of them?
Okay. Yeah.
Gorefest
Okay. No.
and the Cum Shots.
The cum
You
shot.
gotta listen to the Cum Shots, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know about them Cum Shots
Every
from Death
morning
Row.
on my way to work.
So basically, it's just like slower, less distorted guitars with death metal vocals over it, kind of.
Yeah, the Death and Roll tag was first associated with Entombed. I don't know, man. and they always name the same influences: AC/DC, Black Sabbath, Deep Purple.
Yeah.
Let's see who, some classic rock shit. But anyway, just come up with a name and just so people just
How you doing over there, Byron? You need a beer? You good?
Yeah, I could use another.
Okay.
so like if you think in terms of hip hop, everybody today goes, "Oh, you got Drake." You know about Drake. You don't even know hip hop. Not
I know
into hip hop,
Drake.
but
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
Drake.
Drake and Josh, that
Yeah,
show,
you know
that TV
Kendrick
show?
Lamar.
Nickelodeon. He lost a lot of weight.
That dude. And Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
I
And-
actually love his new album.
Right.
Yep.
So you know that. If I don't know about metal, I don't know who today is
Gotcha.
up there.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, maybe I'll take this opportunity to plug a local metal band that is on their way to the top, almost at the top. Fire from the Gods. They just got signed to Rise Records, and they, not just. It's been a little bit now, and they're touring the world. They're on Warped Tour right now, which will be in San Antonio next Saturday. But they're like our hometown heroes. They're straight from Austin, and they're like one of the bigger ones now. But like going back to how it was, I guess, sort of segmented. You're saying, what are the big bands now for someone who doesn't know anything,
right?
I mean, sorry,
no, go ahead.
I mean, if you look, I guess you look at festivals and stuff, the big festivals. I mean, the names that would pop out, because we're being in the underground scene, we tend to focus a lot on the local scene.
Sure.
So like, but if you're just new to it, bands like Avenged Sevenfold or Volbeat or I'm trying to think of the bigger names.
Is Cannibal Corpse still relevant? I kept hearing that
they're
name.
Still relevant. Yeah, they're death metal, but they're still relevant. I mean, that's the thing. There's so many relevant bands. If you go to a big festival and look at the lineup, I mean, there's let's say Metallica, there's Anthrax, there's old school 80s bands. Then there's Korn and Linkin Park when they were, obviously for other reasons they can't play anymore. And then there's new bands like Trivium and Killswitch Engage and Volbeat, Avenged Sevenfold. Then there's the newer bands like Whitechapel and
I love the names.
Right.
They won't beat the Cum Shots though. And not come close to Cum Shots in Death and Roll.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But I think what you're getting at is what it's all about now is the metal industry takes the opportunity for people who don't know metal, and they put those bands that we've all heard of, that you've even heard of, at the top of the line. And when you go to a metal fest, that's who you'll go to see. But you're going to see a bunch of other bands before that you've probably never heard of if you never go to a metal show. So it is like sort of I guess it's almost all encompassing when you're talking about like a metal fest or something like that.
Is there a lot of festivals?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just made a list off the top of my head. I started listing Metal Fest.
Tyler did his homework, folks. Wait, how many you got before you? Well, you have so much time.
Just 5.
Oh, okay, cool.
Just 5.
Just kidding. I was like,
this is
97 of them.
Oh my God!
We gotta wrap up the show, man.
This is just right before we started, but these are ones that I attend regularly. Which So What Music Fest, which used to be South by So What, and that's in Fort Worth. Usually the second weekend of South by Southwest, when South by's wrapping up. That's the weekend that they have it there in Fort Worth. And that's awesome. They had whenever Under Oath was getting back together, another band that we might consider the godfathers of metal. Whenever they were getting back together, they were headlining that entire thing. And just like we were just talking about, it was Under Oath, which everyone has heard of, and about a third or more of the bands were local Texas metal bands that were also getting to play. And so I guess in that regard, it was just local all the way up to millions of viewers, and just like any type of metal you could possibly conjure up in your head. So that's a good one. Texas Independence Fest, which is...
I mean, the name doesn't even tell you that it's a metal thing.
Yeah.
It's a metal festival. Just go, Texas Fest. Yeah, I'll go. And you show up. I came for the beer, and I thought I was going to hear some acoustic shit.
That's actually a fair point.
I mean, seriously. What are the other ones?
So we got Texas Independence Fest and Texas Revolution Fest, and those are both put on by Come and Take It Productions, who now have their own venue, which used to be the old Grizzly Hall. Now it's called... so now it's called Come and Take It Live, and it's a genre-neutral venue, but I mean, that's like sort of the metal hub, for the metal shows. And I know y'all have played there as well, right?
Yep.
Last Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah, Come and Take It Live, and Dirty Dog Bar would be the...
Yeah, Dirty Dog Bar.
Are those the spots for live metal here in Austin?
Yep, those two, and Texas Mist as well. I'll throw them a plug.
Yeah.
Texas Mist is kind of a newer venue.
Over by the airport?
Yeah, right? It's literally right across the street from my house, which is great.
Nice.
Nice.
It's a little bit of a towny bar kind of vibe, but they are it's a good ownership over there. Okay. Definitely more of a chill vibe, but that's another spot they're really trying to get at the metal scene. There's good shows going on there.
One of their similarity with hip hop is that metal gets a bad rep.
Yeah.
When people think metal, like from the outside looking in, it's a bunch of white kids that just don't care about shit. That are depressed. They're angry for some reason, but they live in the suburbs.
Yeah,
it's like hip hop. And there's still white kids in the suburbs who get depressed over some dumb shit. And so there was this article that Byron sent me that was really interesting. It's about the psychology of it. Like there was, she was studying. There's a bunch of studies made about is there a link between mental health and listening to metal?
Yeah.
And you're like, is it like do people who listen to metal have mental problems or do they all seriously?
Yeah.
Like this study that's like I know Tyler's laughing around. It's like what the fuck is this?
Oh
That's
my
exactly
God.
what the article said was like it's
I
bullshit.
read it.
Oh, you
did
read
read
it?
Yeah,
You
I
said
did
it was
read
bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think in
Wait, was that the determination that the article said?
yeah, the article said it
Yes.
was bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, the article said it was bullshit that they do have mental problems, or is
No,
that
there's no link between the two.
No.
There's no link between
Of
listening
course
to
not.
metal and
It's like saying there's tomatoes and the moon. Is there a correlation
no, but
between
here's the
tomatoes
thing:
and
like
the moon?
you always have these studies that like that get funded somehow, and you're like, who the fuck? I mean, I could have told you that.
yeah,
I don't even listen to metal. I could have told you that.
Yeah.
Come talk to me next time. So, and one quote in there that I thought really stood out was the girl was like, "Yeah, I listen to metal, and I feel safe in the mosh pit."
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, like these people are punching each other.
Yeah,
and
right. It seems
Somebody's
so
gonna
violent.
come out with a nosebleed and a
It's
broken
like therapy.
or something.
It's therapy, is what it is.
You think it's therapy?
I've done it.
See, I
enough.
wish hip hop
Yeah.
had something like that.
Yeah.
Like we all dance like one way.
Start pogoing, just see what happens.
Sorry, Bogo, man.
I ain't trying to get shot, dude.
There's the Cupid Shuffle.
How dare you? The Cupid Shuffle.
What's the System of a Down song where it's dance, pogo, 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 bounce?
Yes,
The song
bounce.
look up System of a Down, bounce.
That's the song.
Yes, the whole song is bounce, pogo, 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 ah, pogo, 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 pogo.
And what do you do to it? You pogo? You just jumping down?
I headbang, but you can do whatever you want to it. You can pogo to it.
Man,
I'm
See,
just letting you know.
See?
we have all these stupid ass dances. Cupid
Told you,
Shuffle.
boy, that. Ooh.
And then what's the one everybody did? Like,
The nene?
oh,
What? Too
I
soon?
totally forgot about that one. No, the one that.
Try to get past it.
Shit. Now it's gonna be in my head for the rest of the day if I find out what it is.
What year are you talking about?
No, you hop forward, then you hop back.
The hokey pokey?
No, no.
Put
It's
your
not
right
the
foot
Two
in.
hops this time.
your left foot
Two
out.
hops this
That's
time.
that one. See, that's what we're known for. You're not a
The
bitch.
Macarena?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! Not the bunny hop.
Reverse.
Yeah, no.
Cuban shuffle? No, I already said that, right?
The
Pilates.
no. This is gonna bother me. I swear to God.
No.
I swear to God. All white and the guy made it so that all the white people could actually dance to it.
It's very instructional.
Yeah, it was.
That's the
No,
Cuban
there's no
shuffle.
instructions to. There's no instructions to it.
That's the Cuban shuffle, no?
No, that one's just like kick,
Yeah.
and turn it all around and turn it by yourself.
Wait, what?
That's Cupid
That's
Shuffle.
exactly how it goes.
Yeah, so people can keep up.
Turn it by yourself.
It will come back to me. I don't want to
Okay,
keep
okay.
dwelling on this one, but anyway, yeah, we need a dance, man. Hip hop needs a dance or something that's like, look, this is hip hop shit. Because we do like we nod. You guys headbang. We nod. We
I would say, sorry about that. I would say like back when I was in college and we had the crunk music with Lil Jon and even before then with 3-6 Mafia would Tear the Club Up.
Yeah.
And that
Fly.
type of, aggressive
energy?
music, a lot of energy, people pushing each other, sort of mosh pit like, but not quite.
Yeah.
But
no,
there
not
was-
quite.
but there
Nobody
was
wants to get
definitely-
shot again.
There was definitely some physicalness to it. You just had to,
shoulder to shoulder, elbow.
yeah, you just had to make sure, a fight didn't break out. But
Yeah, how do you make sure that? How can you tell a fight from a mosh pit from the outside looking in too?
Oh, you can tell.
Oh, you can?
Oh, you can tell.
If
Really?
anybody falls down in a normal mosh pit, everybody brings them up, and everybody's always kind of you're hitting each other, but you can definitely tell. And I've been in a couple of those, where somebody gets a little too aggressive, and they've either kicked my girlfriend or they've
Are your girlfriends in there with you?
on the outside or kind of. I've brought them in, a couple times, and inside they're like, nah, that's it, I'm good.
I'd be like, look, baby, you're going in with a suit and with like pads, and
Football helmet.
Yeah, seriously, and not giving you brass knuckles just in case.
I
Somebody,
mean, like you were saying, you hip hop needs a new dance, and so like I think metal is more so it's kind of standard. There's the headbanging crowd, the mosh pitting crowd, and now the slam dancing or what it was called, the fucking
Pogo.
there's another one.
Slam dancing, is that what it's called?
When you walk into the crowd and you do a windmill with your arms?
Yeah, everybody's doing the dancing with their arms and legs kicking out everywhere. That's been the
Like
trend over the past 5
Looks like a donkey having a seizure.
Oh, you don't like it, do you?
No.
You don't like it?
Well, I'm all for it because, like he said, it's therapeutic. But I don't like when people are assholes about it. You know, like there are other people there at the show.
Yeah, they kick you in the face.
Yeah, it's like you shouldn't be trying to injure someone. You know, it should be a therapeutic thing. Right. You know that you're there with other metalheads, and it's like a thing, a community type thing. You know, but then there are there are sometimes there's that one guy that's just trying to hurt people.
I speared him one time.
Hey, you know what? All it takes is one dumb motherfucker to fuck it up for everybody.
Yeah,
and it seems to always be the giant shirtless dude.
Yes. I didn't want to go so far as to say that, but thank you, sir.
Yep.
That's that's it. It's always him. And
it's always him.
And he looks super pissed.
Yeah, he's just mad about life, and he just really needs some therapy. But he's just
but
gonna
that's
say,
his therapy, though.
Yeah, but he's gonna just fuck everybody else up.
He wants to be part of it, like everybody else. Come on, give him a break. Maybe he hates his job. Like he works like customer service for T-Mobile and shit.
I once saw this,
and he's big for no reason. He just wants to let the energy out.
He just wants to help people with their technology issues, and then just get his shit out in the pit. That's his MO.
Dish him out a Dougie.
The Dougie.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that the song you were?
He was looking at for this whole time.
Yeah, I turned shit up.
He was on autopilot.
Yeah, I was like hip hop songs with dances in them.
Don't lie. You're watching Kate Upton do it right now. I know you are.
Yeah, sure.
I once saw a Spider-Man dance. That's been probably the most crazy one I've seen so far. And this was 10 years ago. It was Still Remains and Darkest Hour at Houston Engine Room. And some dude just literally went back and forth, right and left, across the hall, doing this.
What? That's Spider-Man?
Like
Spider-Man. Like shooting his webs out.
I mean, at this point, you can't come up with your own shit. If you're, there's no rules.
Yeah, you could.
Nobody judges them. It's like, go do your thing.
If I come in, if I come in and I got boxing gloves, does anybody care? Would anybody care?
Dude, just do it, man. I guarantee you every metalhead in there has seen something crazier.
I want to see it.
And plus, I would love to. You'd be giving, all the concert goers a story to tell.
And I guarantee you.
How did he even get those in?
Yeah. I guarantee you there'd be at least one or two people who said, fuck yeah, I want to fuck with this guy.
Like a week later, we're at a show. There's all these people with boxing gloves on.
Catch me out Beerland next time.
Oh, yeah? We started a trend. Yeah.
Boxing gloves. Shit. Yeah, boxing gloves.
That's not a terrible idea.
And a bicycle helmet.
I once saw a pillow fight.
Are you serious?
It was Cassandra, a local band. They did
I thought you were good at that 5-finger punch thing.
No. They did a pillow fight pit just for fun, and it was actually pretty awesome to watch because everybody's just like getting like ready for the breakdown, like let's go, and then just fucking pillow and like feathers flying. It was actually
they brought the pillows in.
Yeah.
The crowd did, or the band
the whole band showed up in jammies and then threw out pillows to the crowd, and I thought that was actually pretty funny.
That's pretty dope.
That's awesome.
You
Shout
know
out
what?
to
Now I'm
Pastor
really
Cassandra
curious.
for doing that.
I want to check it out for real. Like,
Go to a show?
Yeah. Hopefully, I walk out of there. I'll be on the outside.
You might take a nap.
Yeah, you can be with all of the almost 30-year-olds like I am in the back that just stand in the back with the beer now.
The almost 30-year-olds are in the back?
Past 30.
I will be by the door because I'm over 30.
How old are you?
I'm 35.
35? Byron?
37?
You're 37. Fuck.
They'd be outside like with a binocular.
I'm sitting in the parking lot like, damn, what's this going on?
I mean, if you got to be, if at 13.
What time are we going to be done?
Hold on. At 13, he was in the middle of it. And as you get older, you work your way out of the mosh into the crowd.
Yeah,
into
the older you get, the further back you
I would get my
closer
ass
to
whipped if I get in the middle of that.
Like, oh yeah, now for like metal fest and stuff, it's beer in the back or like unless I'm covering the show or something. But when I was 19, it was like 10 hours of moshing in the front, stage diving, the whole nine.
Can you go? Everybody get on this dude.
On stage?
No,
because I did that on stage.
Really?
You
give instructions?
Oh, if it's one of my friends that I see he's not moshing, then I'll say everybody go mosh around him.
Yeah.
That's mean, man.
Nah. No, because every single time I do that, they're like, Okay, that was fucking awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Really?
Oh, because they need the release. They just don't need it. They don't know they need it. Every time, even when.
But you
even
know
now,
they need it.
I know
That's
they
the-
need it. Even now, even though we're like, okay, we're staying out of the mosh pit, but it always feels great after you do it.
Yes.
It's just the morning after, the day after, we can't recover.
Like I said, I'll be
you
by
can
the
tell that
door.
you're in a mosh pit.
I'll be by the door and I'll be like, oh, this kid's having fun over there. I'm going to let her have fun. I'm going to let her have fun.
They probably are having fun.
No, but do you, so in your songs, in Fear Control,
Yeah.
do you get political with any of it, or is it pretty much, like, how do you write your stuff?
I write anything that comes out, and I don't like. Some of it's political, but it's not, I guess, directly aimed. I'm not calling people out or anything like that, but it's more so the repercussions and feelings that shit. Anything inspires me to write. I have songs about dealing with assholes or dealing with or dealing with the political system. Anything and everything I like to write about.
How did the Texas Tea one come about?
Texas Tea was actually okay. Yeah.
I had to ask.
I was literally gonna ask that. I had a note here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah?
I was
I'll
just-
work for
I've,
you,
I've
Tyler.
always been curious.
Texas Tea. Yeah, a song called Texas. I will play a little bit. But tell us a little
Okay.
bit. before
Yeah.
I
Okay.
set it up.
So that's a fair question because I almost didn't put that on the CD. That was a one-off where it was I make a drink called Texas Tea at home. It's basically a Long Island, but I instead of putting a splash of Coke and filling it with sweet and sour, I do the opposite. I just put a splash of sweet and sour and fill it with Coke. That's just what I like to drink, and that's my Texas Tea because it's really strong. You can't taste it, so you can drink a lot of those. And I was just we're out partying and at the club, and not the club at Dirty Dog and shit, and just. I don't know, the lyrics just, I think I was one of those where I was either drunk or I was in the middle of the night or I woke up and all the words came to me and I was like, these are like really cheesy fucking lyrics, but at the same time, it's kind of true and kind of funny, and kind of fun. So I had that riff idea and I was like, if I was going to put these words to any song, this would be the song. And then we just kind of ran with it. And I remember talking with the band at the time, like, do we want to make this a real song? And they're like, dude, it's fucking fun to play. And so we just make it a really fun song live about getting everybody to chug, their beers and shit like that. And so,
All right, so let's hear a little bit because there's a video. If you go on YouTube, you can catch it too. I can't headbang. I don't have any hair. I'm losing hair actually, so I'm anti-headbanging.
and I went from here to here. So. Oh, you can't hear the vocals.
Yeah, has it started yet?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think the full mix isn't coming through. Just
Shit. I'll cut it in. Never mind.
Texas Tea. It's
Texas
easy to
Tea, Fear
remember.
Control.
Texas
Just go to
Tea.
YouTube, listen to it.
yeah,
Well, we got a good melody, if you will. Go check it out, Texas Tea. So Chester Bennington just passed away. Sorry, I'm not trying to bring the show down, but I'm just. Was that really like a big loss for the? I'm not a Linkin Park fan, but I was just curious.
Like for me personally, it was because they were, I guess, one of those first bands where I really, I guess, started really loving metal, and they were just like one of the first bands that I was completely obsessed with and like listening to them every day. And I think without getting into I guess too much of what people say about Linkin Park, their first two albums were just quintessential for most metal bands. And I guess they pivoted genres a little bit, one might say, but that didn't change anything, at least as far as like Chester Bennington, being gone now. It's still a pretty big blow to
Because
the
you go
metal
back to that
community.
meaning of when you were those feels when you started listening to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really listened to Linkin Park in a long time, but I have.
me either.
I have saved every time they come out with a new album. I have saved one song from that on my phone. Because I'm like, dude, that song's fucking awesome. That song's really good. Like, and I always recognize his talent. He had a great voice.
Oh,
Really good. Even though I didn't listen to the band fully, I'm like, that dude's got a great fucking voice. I always respected that, and so. It hit me, it definitely was a slider. Hit me hard, especially after Chris Cornell. And then him, and it's just like, man, like, what is,
But see, it's the same thing that's happening in hip hop when you got all these legends really that are dying off, and you're like, who's gonna like take over? You know, when
Yeah.
the one, and I said that before on the show, the one that really hit me recently was Prodigy from Mobb Deep. Like Mobb Deep was like my shit.
Oh, no
like
shit.
the first album I ever bought with my own money was the Mobb Deep CD. And like, holy fuck, we're getting up to an age where, I mean, he hung himself. He could have lived, but you know, nevertheless, they're going away, and you're like, okay, who's gonna take the flag now? Who's gonna?
I think Metallica did a track with Mobb Deep and Ja Rule.
Don't put Ja Rule in there.
Just saying.
What's the track?
What's the track? I mean, I can't play it because
The tone in this room just shifted really quickly with that.
Ja, who gives
Hell
a
you
shit about
talking
Ja
about?
Rule?
Damn.
Actually-
okay, I didn't know the disrespect to Ja Rule, man. Last time I seen him was a Fast
dare
and Furious, man. I don't fucking know.
That's your reference to Ja Rule?
Thought he was like a poor man's DMX. I guess he's
Oh man,
I don't know.
You know what? I agree.
Yeah,
but
he's a really poor man's DMX.
No, this is what Ja Rule did. His first album, Veni Vini Vici, was great.
Yeah.
It was really hip hop. He had Memphis Bleak. He had Jay-Z. He had
Shanti.
DMX. And then he went, I'm gonna sing with this bitch, and then
Shanti.
ran with it.
Yeah.
And he's the one who started the whole. I'll be the rapper guy, and you'll be the R&B chick, and then we're gonna do songs.
Yeah.
And then everybody started doing that after him. But that was his contribution. Anything past that,
Jay-Z kind of did that too, though.
that was after Ja Rule.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, never. No. Jay-Z had he had that song with Foxy Brown in 1996, but Ja Rule really made it popular.
Okay,
Like in early
okay.
2000, that's when it was like late 90s,
yeah.
early 2000. Everybody was like, "Oh, Ja Rule," but no, don't put it with Mobb Deep.
Back is really hurt now.
Now I want to look it up.
Really hurt right now.
I don't even know if it was Mobb Deep, but
so offensive. Can't believe you said that.
okay, go on.
No, no, it's okay.
Let's move on amicably.
My bad. I told you it hit home.
Shut the fuck up, Cash.
Yeah, that was.
No, it's all good. It's all good. No, but I mean, it sucks because you know it's one that I mean, there's nothing you can do. But what happens a lot is, Chester Bennington just died. Oh, everybody gonna listen to Linkin Park.
Yeah.
And Prodigy died. Oh, Mobb Deep was the greatest. Like they changed the BET Awards programming for Mobb Deep for a tribute to Prodigy. Prodigy was never invited to the BET Awards. And now that he died, like 2 days later, oh shit, Mobb
that's
Deep
funny,
died.
huh?
Yeah. And actually, what's his name? Master P
Master
went
P.
went online and said, dude, we had these legends that are alive today that are not getting their due, and they're not getting the shine they deserve. And then it's only when they die that we're like, oh my God, he was the best ever.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Celebrate people while they're living.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what? Let me touch on that because I
Don't bring up Ja Rule again, because
no
I'm playing.
Don't say anything about it.
murder. I was like, what's his catchphrase? No, I've been thinking about that a lot. I think about that a lot. It's just trying to understand the industry because, you know, being on, I guess with the brewery side, with my job, I'm on both sides of things, and same with music is, you know, being in two bands and kind of playing and also managing, booking and designing and doing all this shit. I'm trying to understand the industry as best I can. And it seems to me that you had the amount of bands as I'm sure hip hop artists too has grown exponentially because of the ease of access of making music and recording music.
The good one and the shitty ones.
Yeah,
they make it through somehow.
And that's the issue, is that there's quality and there's work ethic and attitude. And there's so many bands that I know that work so hard. Band Final Drive, they're out of St. Louis, Missouri. They tour nonstop and they work their asses off. They drove once from New Orleans to Corpus for a show with us. 8 hours to play a 20-minute set for peanuts, no money, because they wanted to play with us. They wanted to hang out because they're awesome dudes. And they tour nationwide. They've been on Chicago Open Air Fest. They've toured with Down. They tour with big bands. That's the attitude that I love.
Right.
And I think the labels and say media, say that award show, the venues, the big people, on top, they're looking for that next big thing, right? Because that's where the money's at. That's where the surefire thing is at. They're looking for that. To me, there's not really a surefire thing anymore. To me,
well, I think that the luxury that we've had in hip hop is that we've looked up to people who knew where to find those gems.
Right.
You know, we had the Dr. Dre who found Eminem, who found 50 Cent, who found Snoop. In the rock world, have you watched the Defined Ones on HBO?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly that. Like Jimmy Iovine, working with U2, working with with Bruce Springsteen, finding Lady Gaga, and you're like, these are tastemakers. These are motherfuckers who know what they're talking about, and they go, hey, I know what I'm saying. Check this out.
But you know why? Because the access wasn't as available back then.
Right.
It was a gatekeeper. It was funneled. Now everything's wide open, and so you have a bunch of great artists, but everything's not as great because you have access to everything.
But I still believe in experts. Like if Tyler told me, look, you don't know shit about metal, here's 5 bands to check out, whether they're local or they're big or touring or they're from Germany, I don't give a shit. I'd be like, okay, I trust his judgment because the man went to a mosh pit when he was 13.
He knows.
Yeah, he knows. I mean, he's known since then.
That's the literal school of hard knocks.
I mean, you should be on a mountain somewhere and you have to work your way up and you get there and you're like, tell me your troubles. I will tell you about metal. Like, expert type shit. But the thing is, now everybody's a fucking expert.
Yes.
Everybody's an expert.
That was what I was getting to.
Exactly. So, a douchebag out of Pittsburgh on Twitter can tell you, hey, listen to these guys. And next thing you know, they sound like Death and Roll.
Right.
Oh, God.
It's like
You sound like
Don't say Death and Rolling.
I would call the show Death and Roll. Fuck it.
Death and Roll.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So I'm all for, lowering the barrier of entry and I can't say the word. Make it democratic.
Yeah,
making it more democratic. Like everybody has a shot. Everybody can get up there. Everybody can get.
Right.
I mean, if it wasn't for SoundCloud, we wouldn't have Lil Uzi Vert and all those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Which we could do without, but that's another topic. Anyway, so I'm all for making it available for everybody.
But a lot of that. So here's kind of where that's leading to is that. And I'm sorry for keep talking to you again. Tell me to shut the fuck up.
Good.
No, Cash, go ahead.
Is bands relying on either on marketing money, because it takes a lot of money to promote. Even getting on SiriusXM, all that shit costs money. Manager costs money, or relying on gimmicks or connections. I mean, I guess it is still kind of natural hard work, but you can't just rely on now the gate's open, now everybody's available and accessible. If we just play our shit, people are going to hear us. Because now there's so many options that you have to find a way in, and that's based on marketing, branding, how much money you're willing to put in, even if you don't have that money. And that's just my personal experience. That's kind of what it seems like.
Do you talk to labels or
no, I don't really,
managers?
Yeah, I mean, I have contacts and stuff at labels, and Come and Take It Productions. Those local guys are always helping me out. They always
What's up, Anthony?
Yeah, what's up? But yeah, they always sort of let me have my free roam of a venue or whatever, so I can capture it and get the word out about shows. But I think Cash hit it right on the nail, which is you've just got these bands that work so hard, and now sometimes that work pays off and sometimes it doesn't, just because there are so many damn options out there. Like, that band that followed them for 8 hours, there are hundreds of bands that we would probably love that we've probably never even heard of. There's just so many metal bands now, and it kind of is becoming about networking in a way. You've just got to keep in touch with promoters all over the country. If you want to book, you've got to, keep in touch with the local venues and play, at least one show a month if you want people to remember you. And, it's just, it's different now. It's not like you said within hip hop, you're just, you look at someone and you've got, some people that they are vouching for, and it's like, here, check these people out. There's not so many people like that anymore in the metal world.
I mean, you would think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I mean, Dillinger Escape Plan, who's a big metal band, are called it quits, right?
Yeah,
because they couldn't afford to tour anymore, and that's a big metal band.
And meanwhile, like Five Punch and a thing,
Five finger
cunt punch, whatever the thing is.
The disrespect.
My bad. They won't hear this.
It's murder.
All right, we even. We even now.
Yeah, that's the disparity I'm talking about. Five Finger, I don't know if you ever seen them live. I've seen them a few times where their production is like insane. They have moving stage parts and crazy screens and lights. And then you have a band like Dillinger Escape Plan who's, a little heavier for sure, but they've done some commercial type songs with melody. And they can't, any band can tour and survive.
Right.
The difference is it's not like the old 80s days or, the prime of hip hop days either.
Yeah.
Where you can't tour and be able to buy a big house and a car for your family for each band member. You're basically, I can afford an apartment's rent and I can maybe get a okay car and you're a big band.
Wow.
So like these touring bands, you're basically you're playing to pay your gas expenses and your
to the next city
into the next city
for real,
for real,
and hopefully get a hotel room.
And everything's going back into the band because you have to buy your merch, you have to buy the CDs, you got to pay for management expenses. Everything is going back towards that. That's the reality of where metal music is.
Yeah, and just kind of like on top of that, this is definitely a whole nother discussion, maybe a whole nother podcast.
Oh, we got 10 minutes. Let's go.
But, I guess at least a little bit of the part of this is just like the evolving, social media. There's no money to be made in selling your music anymore, at least for a local metal band.
That's across the board. No
yeah,
matter
right.
What genre you're in.
So now, a touring metal band that's, not signed, but a great band now has to sell merch and take the peanuts that they get from the venue and hopefully make it to the next city.
We made more merch last night than
You made more money in merch
than what we got paid for the show.
And is that pretty? I don't know band budget nowadays, but like, is that common?
Yeah, for my I noticed on the talking points for my main band, kind of For the cover band, not so much.
Yeah,
because people. Can we talk about cover bands for a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Talk about that.
Your band is Slaterica. Am I saying it right? Wow. I don't even know.
That sounds dirty.
It's Slayer, Metallica, and Pantera together, right?
Well, we're kind of sluts. One of us is a slut. Shout out, Mark. What's up, buddy? Slaterica is Slayer, Pantera, Metallica. Slayer, Pantera, Metallica cover band. And we're the first of its kind to do it. But I just noticed, when we first started doing it, it was for fun because we all, our guitar player Eric, who played in a band called Powder Burn, and now he's a band called Epic out of Houston. Mm-hmm. He threw out the idea. He got Keith, who's a bass player. He also plays in Snakeskin Prison and a couple other bands, and Mark, who's the drummer of Snakeskin Prison and now The Crown. And we threw the idea out to me. I'm like, well, I don't know if I have time. But I was like, dude, that sounds so much fun. Like, these are all songs I grew up playing.
Sure.
And then we started booking shows. And the money we get from these fucking shows, it's like crazy compared to what I have to beg for with my original band. That I spend most of my time with my original band. That's all blood, sweat, tears of writing and promotion and everything. And this one, we're just covering another band's material, which again takes time and effort.
Yeah.
But
you're giving a chance to those 30-year-olds who are outside of the mosh pit to get back into the mosh pit because that's the lowest age you got at those shows.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, like on average, they're probably around in their 30s. They grew up with it just like you did.
Yep.
Because
they have money.
And that too.
They have money to spend, and then for the venues, they want to get people who know what they want people to come because they know they're gonna know what they're gonna hear. Yeah. And that's a big issue with Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, Austin, is that the cover bands, local bands are finding it harder to play and book shows, good shows, because there's so many as far as get paid for good shows. These cover bands, and I'm in one, so I'm talking shit about myself, but
go ahead.
We get paid. We have to play a little bit longer, but the crowds are crazy, and I always try to promote our originals whenever we can because I think it's been a common thing since Guitar Hero came out, since iTunes came out, since singles came out.
Right.
And people have so much access to music. They want to hear what they know.
You ever been to a show, and the same thing with hip-hop. You go to a show, and then the guy's like, he does all his classics, getting them out the way. And he goes, yo, I'm dropping my new album. Let me do some of the songs out of that. And everybody's I don't give a shit about the new album. I don't know. I want to hear the classics. Like, I don't know this new. You're on tour for what again?
There was a classic from The Simpsons on that where it's Bachman Turner Overdrive BTO, and it's like, all right, thank you for so much for coming out tonight. We're gonna play all our stuff from our new album. No, and Homer's like, no, shut up, play Taking Care of Business now again. We'll get to that after we play a new one. No new crap. Play it now.
Exactly. Yeah. That must be frustrating as hell.
Even last night for the original band, Texas Tea, some dude was like, dude, I heard that online, and you didn't play it tonight. I was like, well, we had a short set. And he's like, I really wanted to hear that. I'm like, well, we got a new album coming out. We're playing new songs. And like,
no. I mean, think about like the old bands, like the Stones and all those old bands are still
Led
going out
Zeppelin
and performing all those old songs.
Yeah.
I went and saw, it's not metal, Hall & Oates. Long time ago. Yeah, it was Hall & Oates. And they were like, yeah, we're going to do our new song, whatever. And just nothing.
Get a beer.
Nothing. Play Man Eater or shut the fuck up because I paid money to come to drive all the way to the Circuit of the Americas, park, and all that stuff. And if you're not going to do Man Eater, I'm walking out of this bitch. And seriously, it was like that. And it's sad. And I think it only happens in music, though.
Well, I mean, do you want to touch on the whole cover band issue? Because I'm curious on what is.
I honestly haven't made it out to see many of the local cover bands. I have seen Slaterica before. I think at maybe Missed.
Go see Spasmatics.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've seen
like those guys.
They're a national chain.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. I didn't know that.
I didn't know it either.
I didn't know that.
Recently.
And I'm like, but they kill.
They do kill.
And they do everything.
Because they're getting paid.
Exactly. Fuck yeah, they're getting paid. If you give me a wig and a neck brace and a freaking shirt.
Have you seen the drink prices at Cedar Street Courtyard?
Yeah.
Dude? It's like $8 for a beer.
Yeah. Oh, you go on a Wednesday and there's nowhere else to go.
They're getting paid.
Yeah. There's nowhere else to go.
But
they figured it out.
I think that that Cash's surprise that his cover band is, it's more successful, at least financially some nights, than, his other band where he's like, I pump in, all this hard work and this energy, speaks to, I guess maybe the people that are like, oh yeah, man, like I'm totally coming out, totally going to be there. And I think that's like maybe one of the big problems, at least, like, with, the local metal bands right now is like, just trying to get people to come out. And that was
a mosh pit with two people is not a mosh pit.
Right.
It doesn't work.
It's a shoving match.
And like
they're actually punching each other. We're doing Street Fighter on the crowd and shit. Too much room.
Yeah.
But it's getting hard. It's getting harder to get people to come out, and then it's harder for musicians to travel.
Literally do no promotion for Slaterica, pretty much. And we get a packed house every show.
Where do you perform?
Where?
Yeah.
Different spots. I mean, we're playing El Paso on Friday, and there's like 100 RSVPs on Facebook, and people saying, "Oh, I can't wait to see it." I'm like,
if you don't play it to Sandman, I would be mad. Yeah. Like, by the way, I bought this, but shut the fuck up. Yeah. Really? I'm trying to fuck my other stuff I got going on.
So we always try to as much as we can. If we have Slaterica headlining, we try to get one of our original bands to open, which means one of us is pulling double duty, playing 2 shows in a row. We've done it before. It happens, but we try to utilize that. That's kind of what we're doing because we want our original bands to succeed. It's been a crazy trend about people coming out to cover band shows, which I'm not complaining about because it's super fucking fun. But I don't know what else to do about it. There's different ways around it. There's different marketing. I think like Tyler was saying, play once a month. Keep playing. Keep pushing yourself out there. Use YouTube. Do the traditional marketing. It's just not going to come as easy as it used to. It's just because I've seen bands come up and fall. So many bands that have been bigger than us at some point, and then they're gone. And then another band, and then they're gone. We, as far as Fear Control goes, I'm not fucking quitting. I'm not stopping till I'm like I physically can't play anymore.
As your voice goes away,
or my voice goes away. Yeah.
Yeah, keep that voice, man.
No, because I will find a fucking singer. I know a bunch of singers.
That's true.
I will make it happen because and that's the attitude that you need to get anywhere with this. Even bands that have already made it before us, that's cool. That's awesome for them. Shattered Sun, Sons of Texas, Fire from the Gods. These are all bands that have worked hard. We played all of them, and they do work hard, and they make it happen. But the bands that really want to keep it going, I think in this scene, you have to just you gotta be able to put money into it. That's just one thing you have to do. It's a necessary evil. You gotta put money into appropriate marketing and merch and promo, and then just the constant attitude of we want to keep playing shows. We want to keep bringing the music. There can't be any bitching. There can't be any pussies. No offense, but in your band, everybody's got to pull their fucking weight and keep it going in order to get somewhere with it.
Well, last point is I said it earlier. Like when people get into a subgenre of metal and like, okay, I'm just sticking to that. I'm not gonna say the genre again. But how tight is that community where you look at a lineup for a show and there might be, okay, this one is more death metal, this one is more maybe gothic, and this one is alternative, whatever, right? And there is somewhat of a cross promotion or like a fraternal type of relationship where, yeah, I'm into this kind, but these guys are into this kind, but we can actually play together, or I'll help promote. Like, how tight is that community?
There's always going to be assholes. There are always people
they're everywhere.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
assholes are everywhere.
Fuck that band, whatever.
That band,
but I think, generally speaking, all of the entities that I've mentioned have really made it, at least in Austin and definitely Fort Worth and San Antonio, the metal community is very supportive and very accepting. You know, if I'm not into a certain band that's playing and I'm going for, to see another band, then I'm going to get there. I'm still going to see the whole lineup, because that's just how a show should work. And I think that that's how a show should work. But, again, some people are going to be assholes about it, whatever. But I think generally speaking, the metal community here in Austin is pretty supportive and open towards each other, and all the bands and all the promoters are always trying to help each other out.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, locally. I think locally, yeah.
But not nationally?
I think Europe is a little bit ahead of us in regards to that, about accepting other genres of metal and rock. And oh yeah, I mean, I've heard Metallica say that plenty of times about they've had go to all kinds of festivals where there's all kinds of bands playing.
Yeah.
And also in America, I think we're in the last 3-4 years have gotten a lot better at that. I think we're still a little bit behind.
Yeah.
But locally, definitely, I think there's a lot of support for different genres.
And we do. I mean, there's like big metal fests and stuff here all around the country, like, Rock on the Range, and then there's, Ozfest and all that stuff. But those festivals in Europe, I mean, they're 10 times as big as any, you know what I mean? Like,
I say for all the bands, because
Yeah.
there's no judgment. I think America's a little bit behind on that, although I think it's going in the right direction with all the cross-genre mixing of different styles, and also just I think it's quick 30 seconds, sorry. When I was in college, high school, growing up, metal was the extreme. It was viewed as the extreme.
Sure.
And now I have all these friends from college and high school and work, Byron here, that metal is not a bad word, an extreme word anymore. They're like, oh yeah, dude, I love that. I love fucking Cowboys from Hell, and I love fucking this song. I love Killswitch. I love Lamb of God's badass. Like, I think it's not a bad word anymore. Just a random thought if you want.
Quick trivia: do you know the country with the most heavy metal band per 1,000 people? 100,000 people?
I'm gonna go with France.
Nope.
Ooh. Wait.
Is it like a Nordic country, or like Sweden or
It's
something?
Bingo, Sweden.
Oh, shit.
It is Sweden.
Wow.
Sweden.
The country that gave us Ace of Base. And that, that's why they actually did a study, and they were like, why is it wasn't like why there's more metal and more bands in Sweden than anywhere else. It had to do with education and how your music is part of your education early on.
Yes.
And so the technicalities of metal, being able to keep up with the melodies and all of that and the riffs, like you have to know all that shit. So everybody's like, I grew up learning all this stuff.
Yeah.
So fuck, I'm starting the band. Me too. Me three. And all the white people in Navy are doing it. Next thing you know, there's the most
truth.
Yeah, it
Yep.
is. It is.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fun little fact.
That's awesome.
All right, we're gonna wrap things up. But before we go, I want you to read the weather report with a James Hetfield.
All right.
In a James Hetfield.
In a Hetfield or like a screaming metal?
Do both. Just that line right there.
Which one? Oh, the line right there?
Yeah. All right, first James Hetfield.
Okay. Okay, shit, that's like a couple lines. Okay. On spot, man. Okay. Considerable clouds this evening. Some decreasing clouds late. A stray shower of thunderstorms is possible. Low 76 degrees. Wind south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Yeah. Woo. Was that cool?
Love
Is
it.
that okay?
Love it.
That was dope.
That was great.
That was dope.
That was
Okay.
Now what's screaming?
Screaming.
One? Oh,
this
I'll
is
turn
gonna
the
be
mic
good.
down.
This is my jam. What you're about to do right here.
All right, go
It'll be
ahead.
awesome.
Consider clouds the same night. Something crazy clouds slide. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind sound at 5 to 10 miles per hour.
There it is. All right. That was awesome.
Drink some water, man.
I'm done.
Man, I can't picture you on stage doing that for 2 hours. Whoa.
That's awesome.
All right, thank you so much, man. Where can we find Texas Love Metal?
Oh, I'm at Texas Loves Metal across the board. Everything: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube.
Good stuff. And Fear Control.
Fear Control, yeah, it's at Fear Control. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We're also on Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and then Slaterica without the Y is on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and just look us up on there and come out to some shows, man.
You have an EP out called The Monster.
Yeah, we have 2 EPs. One's called Conviction and one's called The Monster, and then we're about to record a full-length 10-song LP hopefully next month. So just, you can always go to our website, fearcontrol.net.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. Byron, thank you. By the way, thanks to Byron.
Thanks,
because
Byron.
Seriously,
Yeah.
he booked this
Yeah.
one, and I had
Yeah.
a great time. I learned so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Death and Roll and five. I mean,
Five
Damn
finger
it, man.
punch.
I've learned nothing. I learned nothing.
Oh, Lordy.
Five finger punch.
Five
Five
finger
finger
death
cunt.
punch.
5 finger cunt punch.
Five finger cunt. Or
No, what is it? Five finger.
5 finger cunt punch. And
No,
roll.
no, that's not what it was.
Oh.
come.
There was a
Cum
cum shot. There was a
Come
cum
shot.
The
Five
cum
finger
shot.
come.
Let's just stop it now. Man.
That's all right. No, seriously, I really appreciate. I'm glad to see that, hip hop and metal are very similar.
Yeah.
And I hope to be in a mosh pit at some point. Maybe it's too late for me.
We'll throw you in there.
Look it up. Go to texaslovemetal.com.
Yes, sir.
Look up they're on YouTube a bunch of videos so you can get familiar with the scene here. And check out Fear Control and Slate. Man, thank you for reading the weather report. I really
It was
appreciate that.
beautiful.
If you want to help the show, simply go to thefeedback.com/review. It will take you to iTunes so you can review it, give us some stars. That really helps us with the rankings on iTunes. Leave a rating. We also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, The FeedBak, BAK. Just follow us. We have a bunch of stuff coming up. So thank you for listening. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks
a lot.
so much
And we'll
for having us.
talk to you next time. Ciao, ciao.